Okay, let's go.
Today, I headed down south to visit this restaurant I've heard so much about. But more than the good food, I'm really excited for the good conversation I'm going to have with the one who owns it. Matteo Goodicelli.
It just makes you realize that there is no time for hate. When people say blessing, every day is a blessing, every day, parang now I realize what blessing means talaga. Blessing every day is a gift. To wake up, to see you, to see my wife, it's a gift. And you cannot disrespect that gift by hating you, by hating her.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
I went all the way to the south to visit
to your home. This was your home, di ba?
old home.
Your old
Oo.
home.
Kasi kung nasa na si Paul, yun na yung home ko.
Okay.
Parang ikaw, kung
Okay.
nasa yung mahal mo sa buhay, that's
Tama,
where you are home.
tama.
It's not the place, it's the person. The person is the home. Kasi huli ko siyang nakasama was 2011. He was, I think, 21 years old, 20 years old.
30 na.
Pero hindi kita makakalimutan kasi lagi ko sinasabi kay Alex, if I will have a brother, a baby brother, gusto ko parang si Matteo.
Alam mo, the things I can't forget in our happy UPA days. There's one thing I've always remembered from Toni. When we would pray there, and then when we would talk, he'd always say, "Matt, pray for wisdom, wisdom, wisdom."
Ay, sinasabi ko ba yun
He'd
sa'yo?
always say that. And up to today, I always tell Sarah, babe, you know wisdom, ganito wisdom. So, and I told her, that word wisdom, parang I always remember you when saying that. Because
Talaga,
back in the
di
day
ko
when you'd always say wisdom, we pray for wisdom, we was wisdom na to. Ano is known? Wisdom daw. So, I thought wisdom, you would get it from learning a book, reading something, but no way, it's a life journey.
It's the journey.
Yeah.
Then the reason why we're also here at the Gianni ba o Di Gianni?
That journey.
The Gianni.
Yeah.
How long is this restaurant?
This has been 2 years and a half already.
Ito talaga, you own the business or family owned?
I own the business. Yeah. Wow.
So do you cook? Kasi if you open up a restaurant, dapat may history ka kahit papano sa cooking.
The
Marunong ka
history
mag-
of this restaurant, Toni, the man behind me is not me.
Akala ko nga ikaw.
It's
Pero
my
mukhang-
grandfather, it's Johnny. When Johnny passed away, we said, why don't we continue the legacy of my grandparents? Because whenever you go to their condo before their house, it's Italy. You'll enter Italy.
So what's one dish that you could eat every day?
Pasta ragu. So it's basically bolognese, like meat sauce.
Naluluto mo yan?
Yeah.
Anong hobby mo?
Working out with the wife, gardening.
Do you read?
You posted that book.
Sabi mo, that's your
That's wisdom.
Sobrang daming wisdom, no?
That's wisdom.
Anong favorite quote mo dun sa book na yon? Ang dami.
I read that book a long time ago, but I let Sarah read it and talaga, that
Ganda.
Book,
Pinaka nagustuhan ko doon, we are spiritual beings having a human experience.
wow, you remember talaga the book.
We are not humans having spiritual experiences. We really are spirits
Yeah.
in a human body.
Yeah.
I feel like 2020 is the defining year talaga for you.
Grabe.
Kasi this is the year where
I think kami nag-uso ng small
alin?
weddings.
nag-transition ka ng civil status mo from single to married. Di ba nakakapanibago kapag
Super,
check mo na
super.
yung
Na-proud. Parang,
uy, married, tsaka mister.
Married, oh,
Di
married,
ba?
oh, sobra. Definitely, Toni, because before we got married, grabe yung ride namin, Tons. And of course, the ride never ends, no? But a week before lockdown, Feb 2020, we got married. Very small wedding. A week after was supposed to be our wedding with our friends, but lockdown happened. So everything was planned, Tons. Everything was planned.
Since you open up about the wedding, ang daming issues, ang daming lumabas na articles about it. What is it that you really want the people to know about that special day? After everything that has been said and done.
In the end of the day, it was a beautiful day of two people synergizing together and becoming as one. That was one of the best days of my life. It wasn't perfect,
Yeah.
but I consider it the best day of my life.
Looking back, would you have done things differently? Or would you really prefer it to be that way?
Of course, my dream was to really have like a wedding. Actually, a military wedding was my dream. You know, with all my relatives, friends, people that was with me since day one. That was the wedding I wanted.
So that was the wedding that you wanted. What about Sarah? Ano talaga yung wedding that she
Her
wanted?
naman, very private. Very private. She really wanted a private, solemn, very family and just loved ones wedding.
So yun yung tanong, bakit nga wala yung side niya?
Of course, that would have completed my wife's dream. In God's time, in time, being positive, things will heal and things will be better.
In 5 years, do you see yourself having dinner with your wife and her family in one table?
Oh my gosh.
And having a good conversation, having a good meal?
I imagine that all the time. Not just for me, but obviously, of course, primarily for my wife, but also for my family, my parents. Because, I believe our parents raised us up and worked so hard for us that one day they could marry a woman or a man and two families combined, having a drink together, having pasta together. I think that's our family's dream. I'm sure that's your parents' dream also. Diba? So yun. One day it will happen.
How's married life?
The best only. The best. Cannot complain.
Anong morning routine nyo? May morning routine ba?
Meron. Ngayon meron na. Dati kasi Sarah, she used to wake up 8, 9. Now she's up 5:30, gising na yun eh.
Anong ginagawa nyo ng 5:30?
Lalabas namin, tatakbo na. Or bike or whatever. She's being very, very, very active.
What's your favorite breakfast?
She likes it when I cook scrambled eggs with truffle.
What does she cook for you?
She does all the baking. Very excellent baker, like super.
Ano yung biggest discovery mo sa kanya?
Well, Sarah's a perfectionist. At home, she likes everything to be perfect. Like her baking, you cannot talk to her when she's working in the kitchen. It's her time. She's very perfect in measurements. When she records at home, you cannot enter the studio because she's a perfectionist. I'll give you one story. One time she was recording for ASAP. Before, in ASAP, we just go to the studio, we have engineer, etc. Now she does everything on her own. She said, "Love, I'm gonna record for ASAP." Okay, mabilis lang daw, isang kanta. Mga 10, I said, "Love, tulog na ako." So I slept, I woke up at 1. So where's Sarah? She's still in the studio. Love, malapit ito. I left, I went back, 8 a.m. she was still there, smiling, so happy to record. Love, konti na lang.
Yung kasi yung passion niya sa craft.
I'm really proud of her, Toni, because she's really learning about life. She's an independent woman.
Now?
Yeah.
Oh.
She's really in touch with herself, in touch with life.
In what way? Paano mo nasabing she's independent now?
Before she feared a lot of things, now she's talaga
Sino nag-grocery sa bahay?
Kami dalawa.
Sino nagba-budget?
Ako. And I'm happy because Sarah's very interested in learning always. Love, what's this? What's that? Tell me naman, tell me.
Being married. Ano yung pinaka-challenging for you?
Of course, times of conflict, times of disagreement. No? That's really the challenging part. No? It's parang, when you get to that stage, parang, oh my God, wait a minute, here we go. But in the end of the day, what I've learned is just say, sorry, it's my fault.
Sorry. Alam mo, totoo yan. Pride daw parang panty yan. Pag hindi mo binaba, walang mangyayari. Tsaka sa pagluluto, ang babae parang adobo. Hindi ang kompleto kung walang toyo. May toyo kami minsan, lalo na pag may bisita kami. So tatansyahin mo yan. Pero before you got married, ilang years kayo together?
6 years.
6 years pala. Alam mo, dahil hindi namin napapansin yung time, iniisip ko mga 3-4 years.
We tried to keep our relationship
Yes.
as private as possible.
Pero,
that was Sarah's decision.
Yeah, pero ngayon nga, after you got married, parang mas naging open ka to talk about your love life, your journey.
Yeah,
Bakit?
I always never had a problem of talking about it because I felt it was such a beautiful thing, good things. But I respect Sarah's decision, and now looking back, I'm thankful for that.
It protected your relationship.
Yes.
Yun nga yung tatanong ko sa iyo, how are you able to keep a private relationship in a public arena? Where everyone's looking, everyone's prying, everyone has an opinion about your relationship.
I really have to give that up to Sarah, no, because it was really her doing. It was kind of irritating at times because you really want to talk about it because there's so many positive things. You're so happy that you want to talk about these happy things, no? But she'd always say, "Love, wag na." So in the end of the day, come to think about it today, looking back, parang I'm happy for what we did.
Paano nyo hinahandle together?
At the end of the day, we're in this industry. This is the reality of our industry. There's always going to be people talking good or bad about you. You cannot control that. If you dwell on the negative, you'll just stress out.
What are you tired hearing about?
Away sa politics. Parang gano'n, in the end of the day, I always told Sarah, let's just be the best citizens we can be. We cannot control anything. We can just be the best citizens we we be examples for others. I never believe in talagang going headstrong on something. Diba?
So what do you believe in?
Believe it or not, time. Time heals everything. Time, compassion, humility.
Mm-hmm.
That heals everything.
What's one thing that you don't like people say about you? Na hindi totoo? O hindi ka nagpe-pay attention sa ganun? Feeling ko.
Hindi.
Wala kang pakialam sa iniisip sa'yo ng tao. Bakit wala kang pakialam sa iniisip ng ibang tao sa'yo?
Hindi ko, halimbawa sa Twitter kapag may ganitong mga wala lang.
Hindi ka na-hurt?
Minsan.
Anong pinaka na-hurt ka?
When I entered the military last year, when I finished, dami mga bashers who just did this for a movie, etc. In the end of the day, what I learned also in the army, Toni, is that again, you cannot control people's minds. You just have to keep going forward and be proactive and being the best example you can.
Yung sinabi naman ni Paul is, control what you can and let go of the things you cannot control. Hindi mo na rin makakontrol ang sinasabi ng ibang tao. What you can control is your mind, your reaction, and yourself.
Exactly, Toni. And the word there is equanimity. Have you heard that word?
What? Talaga mga wisdom! Kailangan ko i-research yun. Ano yun, Matt?
Research that. Can you?
Ano yun?
Equanimity.
Matt naman. Ang
Yeah,
hirap naman ng mga
just
vocabulary
Google it
mo.
and then-
That's our word for the day, equanimity.
Because sometimes, when something blows, parang a big event happens and everybody's just panicking. I think the calmest person in the room is the.
I read that in the
Alam mo
book.
yun?
The best fighter is never angry.
Because if you go without emotion there, buwang ka rin eh. So,
What are the 3 events in your life that shaped you to become the person you are today?
my first, I'd have to say, my racing career. My racing career was a big chapter in my life that developed me and built who I am today. Second, the army.
Bakit ka ba nag-army?
Dream ko to, sir. My parents did not allow me. Sarah did not allow me. But I was able to convince them in the end. And then, third, my wedding. The marriage chapter, but the new life.
Anong pinakagusto mo dito sa new chapter ng buhay mo?
Your partner is your soulmate. You work for whatever you do. It's for her. Your future is for her. Like, when you think about it in the morning when you wake up, you realize, wow, this is the woman I'm gonna live with forever.
When is she the most beautiful?
When she wakes up. Marriage is so beautiful because you realize that you have this person for the rest of your life, and not just that all your dreams and all your goals, you'll do it with this person.
What makes her mad?
Me being kulit, I think. Me always asking the same things or repeating the same things.
What makes you mad?
When she doesn't listen. When she doesn't listen. Sometimes like, love, can you just stop what you're doing and listen to me? Because this is important adulting stuff. We have to, no, I'm busy, love, mamaya. No, it has to be now. We have to discuss this now.
What makes you happy?
When she's happy.
It's the best answer. Very selfless.
When she's happy, seriously, when I see Sarah happy, when I see Sarah independent, when I see Sarah enjoying laughing, talagang completes me. But the day that when the day comes and everything's united, I think she'll be the happiest and most complete person. One day.
May nabasa ako, gusto niyo na magka-baby.
Sino? Ako.
Gusto mo na? Siya hindi pa. Ikaw gusto mo na.
I think Sarah just wants to enjoy first. Enjoy.
Ikaw gusto mo na magka-baby. Anong gusto mong first baby? Boy or girl?
Any.
Ilan ang kids na gusto mo?
2, 4. Funny yung sinabi niya. I don't think I can say it, but I'll say it. Sabi niya, kung cute yung isa, hindi 5 na.
Tingin ko cute yan. Cute yan.
Yeah.
Kasi magandang combination ng Pinay and half.
No rush.
No rush. At saka, practice lang ng practice. Practice makes perfect. Diba? Practice lang ng practice. Masarap mag-practice.
Si Alex, kailan
cardio mo na yan.
Si Alex, kailan ngayon mabuti. Example, bukas.
Ano?
Married na sila bukas. Example, bukas they're married. What's your tansya? A year, 2 years?
Baka in 1 week. Buong day ang practice ata ng isang yun. Lalo na sa energy niya. Si Mikey ang mapapagod sa kanya. How are you as a husband naman? What's your love language?
Sarah's better when you ask her things like this. She knows the love language, like touch, ganyan, blah, blah, blah. I don't know mine. I don't know. I just...
Pero ikaw, malambing ka, makulit ka. Saan ka makulit na bagay? Sa paggawa ng baby. Grabe, Matt. Dati baby kita. Ngayon gumagawa ka na ng baby. Ano bang nangyari sa mundo?
Parang wala na nangyayari sa'yo, Toni. Parang...
What would you say is your biggest achievement now?
The fact that I'm married, I have a beautiful wife, and the wife I have is just, kumbaga, we match so well together. May mga bagay na hindi kami parehas, whatever, but I think we synergize together well. And the fact that we have a home together, we have life together, I think that's just the most beautiful achievement, no?
That you're able to create that life for yourself.
Parang, this is ours now. This cup is ours. We bought this together. Alam mo yun?
Yes.
Alam mo yun?
Alam mo, ganyan din kami dun sa bahay namin ngayon. Pag nakikita ko yung bawat ng kortina, inisip ko, pinagtrabuhan namin yung pambayad ng kortina, ng blinds, ng platong binili.
Diba? This is ours now. Can you imagine that?
Imagine that's just how you look at a cup, a curtain. What more, a child?
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. My sister just gave birth a week ago. It's such a blessing, gift. I don't know what you want to call it. Basta it's grabe, humbling ba?
If there's one thing you would want your parents-in-law to know about your married life now, ano yan?
We're extremely happy.
When was the last time you saw them?
I don't even know.
Diba? Hindi mo na alam,
But,
no?
if there's one thing
That you would want them to know about your married life now. That
Sarah's beautiful, Sarah's amazing, she's independent, and she's happy.